the way from Vetnecourt in France, we have Remember Our Lost Diggers, Michael and Donna Fiechtner, and we're going to be talking about...
Well, we're getting an update, Sam, and it's the update on the journey to Vetnecourt, France.
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months they've been in Vetnecourt. Good morning to you all the way in Paris. How are you this morning?
Bonsoir. It's evening
It's
here.
evening here, but we'll say bonjour to you guys. How are you all?
Well, it's midnight down there.
It is. We're 8 hours behind Australia in time.
It's yes, but we've stayed awake just for you guys, and we're very happy to do so.
Well, we're very happy and thankful for staying up. I just remembered the conversation I had with Donna last week about this, and Donna was saying, thank God we don't have you on video.
Yes, well, yeah, I'm just thinking that now, yes. Although I am wearing my Qantas pyjamas, so that's Australian.
Okay.
So that gives a good vibe of Australia, so...
Well, it's actually a very good vibe too, because you're on the vibe.
No, that's exactly right.
See?
But Sam, guys, it's a bit difficult when the sun only goes down at 11:30 at night now. So we are very much awake until midnight, which is one of the changes we've had to make.
Yeah, well, I was just saying to Robert off air that, you know, what a great journey, and in a way too, a great sacrifice. You know, you've left downtown Brisbane to go all the way to France, to Vetnecourt, where, you know, you've taken on a huge project. So just give us a bit of an update of how the project is going, and let the listeners know, because I'm not saying too much, because I want you to express and tell us where you're at with this great journey that you've taken to Vetnecourt in France, and what stage are you up to?
Wow. We left beautiful Australia in April. We finished our teaching jobs in December, and we'd both been teachers for 45 years. So that was really difficult to let that part of our lives go by, because we love that job. We love our students and all the great people that we've worked with over those years. But we thought if we don't take this opportunity now, we're going to be too tired and too cranky to do anything about it. So we applied for a visa. That took 3 months to arrive. So when it finally arrived, we then had to get a plane ticket here to France, and the Middle East occurred. So plane ticket prices tripled, not being able to travel through the Middle East, complications arose with that. So we were given lots of tests before we left, like that last minute, do we still go ahead with this? We can continue teaching. This is just turning out too hard. Anyway, we took it. We took the chance. We were on the plane, got here to Vignacourt, and of course the people here are just absolutely
they're
beautiful.
Just incredible. They have embraced us so much. We feel part of the community now, and it's just so... Remember that they were going to pull down the Thuillier house, where the collection of glass photographic plates were rediscovered by Channel 7 team in 2010. And we had the opportunity. The mayor said, no, well, look, you know, we could do something about this. And he offered us a 20-year lease on the property in return for us renovating it and turning it into a jeet, a B&B. So we've taken that up. And we are here now in Vignacourt, living the life and doing that.
So we've been...
Yeah, and I think just so people can get a picture here, you're 175 kilometres from Paris.
Yes.
You're in a little historic village, and it's a village whereby our lost diggers, World War I diggers, found a place to rest. It was a village then where... you know, our diggers would go and have a break, but the story of Vetnecourt is more than just that, let alone, you know, the burial sites and all of that, where a lot of our lost diggers are. But and I never forget, Donna, reading that great book, you know, The Photos in the Attic, and what that was all about. So just remind us about that, because, you know, it's great we hear about that you've gone to Vetnecourt and you're doing this renovation to what was once a very, very important rest spot for our lost diggers.
Yeah, Vignacourt was a behind-the-lines town where the boys would come to rest or retrain for up to 3 weeks. And it wasn't just the Aussies, it was the Brits, the Canadians, the Americans, Tibetans, Nepalese, Chinese. It was a whole League of Nations based here, and they would stay here for a short time and then go back to the battles. There weren't many French men here because they were fighting as well. So I think the village just came alive. There was a tent city here where all the soldiers lived and camped, and just probably, we're assuming, from the Aussie side of things, just made friends like the friends that we've got here now, reaching out to each other, not just the locals, but to other soldiers, and finally relaxing just for a few weeks before they went back to fight in the horrible battles that waited for them.
This became a home away from home, and the French people embraced them much as they've embraced us, and made it a very special relationship between the French and the Australians and the others that were here. And that behind-the-lines scene is something that we're not going to take away from the battles, as Donna said, but this is another story and a really important one.
And I think too, it's still here now. I think that's the big thing. A lot of people have said to us, World War One, who cares about World War One? If you dig deep, many of us do have a great uncle or a great granddad who did fight in World War One, and there's probably a very good chance that they could be in the photographs taken here in this little village. So part of our job has been researching these photographs because it was behind the lines. When the boys came in, they got new uniforms, a haircut, had a bath, just felt a shave, just felt normal and human again. But with their new uniforms, there was no identification on the sleeves. So when the photographs were taken by Louis and Antoinette Thuillier, a couple, an enterprising couple here in town, trying to make money during that hard time, it's hard to identify the faces. The British were very good. They were here earlier than we were, and they had a lot of battalion photographs with names attached. Louis Thuillier never attached a name to any of the photographs. So out of, I think, there's
4,500 glass photographic plates, about 800 and a few are Australian, and of the Australians there's about 191 that have been identified off 130 glass plates.
So there's still 600 pasteless.
Yeah, and I understand there was 4,000.
4,000 altogether.
Yeah. There's 800 odd plus Australians, 1,500 plus English. There's 300 Chinese, Sam. That is a really interesting story.
Interesting.
There's Nepalese, there's Indians, there's the Gurkhas. There are an incredible number of soldiers from all over the world, the Commonwealth soldiers that were here on the Allied side, that were photographed by Louis and Antoinette, and that's what makes the whole collection so special.
And, Louis just had a sign on the front door, photos. He wasn't a photographer. He was a soldier himself who was injured in Verdun and came back, and he loved to we've gathered a bit of information from the locals. He loved machines and cars and tractors, so he liked to tinkle with machinery and took up photography. And if you see these images, they are spectacular.
We've found the original cache of them was found in 2010 or so, and we have found since about 35 of them in the wall of the attic where the glass plates were found, and the quality is incredible to consider that they were taken 110 years ago.
And Mr. Kerry Stokes acquired all of them because they were going to be thrown away. So if he hadn't done that, this story wouldn't be happening, and we wouldn't still be finding names. Yesterday we researched a fellow and found his name, and contacted his family and said, we found a picture of your great-granddad. And the joy and the connection and the just excitement that happens for us as well as for the family is just such an honour to be part of. So
we're just continuing the story that started when the Channel 7 team found them, but our story is continuing now, and we're just loving it, and there's a passion there that you can't take away from us.
And of course the house was where they took the photographs. So
and that's what I was just about to say. The important thing is that both you, Donna, and Michael need to be absolutely congratulated. And I tell you what, it's a pretty gutsy move that you've made to sell everything in Brisbane and to go to Vecna Court. But the House of Thuillier project is so important. And when you think of what Kerry Stokes and Channel 7 and others have done, 4,000 plus glass plates of photograph. Kerry Stokes has donated over 800 negatives to the Australian War Memorial. But my point here is that the House of Thuillier project, is such a huge project that both of you need to be congratulated on. It's, like I said, pretty gutsy move. And you've done this self-funded and you're having problems in trying to get funds from the Australian government to a certain degree. And, things have slowed down for you. But here you are doing a huge renovation to ensure that the memory of those diggers stays alive. And I've said it over and over again, it's gutsy, you need to be congratulated, but you also need to be supported.
Thank you. Some people would say we're stupid as well as gutsy.
We can worry about that later.
Every day we think that
We've been very blessed in that we've had a number of people who have put their hand up and said, look, yes, we'll help you. Unfortunately, the Middle East crisis on at the moment has slowed that down a bit because people have got businesses and they've got to look after them first at home in Australia before they start giving money away. So that slowed things down a little bit, but we are sort of plodding along and doing the best we can. And anyone out there that wants to support us, we're happy to have a chat to you.
The Mayor has given us 2.5 years to get this finished. So we could have packed up and said, we're not doing this. That's the third, the plane tickets escalated. The Middle East started getting a visa, like a lot of difficult hurdles we had to overcome. And then the investments have slowed down. So we could have said, no, this is ridiculous. But
you can't do that because this is too important.
We're committed to this. And we can't see that house be torn down because the soldiers are still there.
They're there.
We had a tour the other day and we brought out some nibblies and a little bit of bubble. And, Australians like a little bit of cheese and bubbles. And it was an Australian tour. And we all just sat outside and we reminded them that this is what happened 110 years ago. And some of those moments were actually photographed. There are some soldiers with a bottle of beer, some with nursing a duck or patting a dog, with a French girl, like casual photos.
And all we want to do, Sam, is we want to recreate that so that when people keep that alive so that when modern day people come there, relatives, descendants or anybody, they do the same thing as what the soldiers did 110 years ago, and we're reliving that and keeping that history alive, and that's really important also.
But what's really important too is that, I get a little bit annoyed because what's the sort of funding that you need to get this project completed?
Well,
what are we talking about in dollars?
The project is, we've had some incredible builders on our team who have done everything. Everything's ready. It's all approved and everything. It's about $1.5 million worth, Australian dollars worth of investment. As I said, we had that at the end of last year before the Middle East crisis, but it's not, and I don't say this in any harsh way, it's not a lot of money in the big picture of things, considering what costs are spent around the place. But it's about 1.5 million, and that is going to bring it up to a 6-bedroom guest house.
6 bathrooms.
6 bathrooms, small 2 reception rooms, a little bar and a little cafe. And that will complete, the big thing is it'll complete the project that was originally sort of mooted back in the centenary years of 2018 when they built the museum. They wanted to renovate the house then, but DVA ran out of money, unfortunately. And we understand all those things, but the house sat there really deteriorating since that time, and we have stepped in and we've been able to resurrect it in terms of the mayor said, and it wasn't his problem, but he said, look, I can't keep supporting it. It's a small village of 2,500 people. There's other things that are far more important than the Thuillier house in the village, but he saw the sensibility of allowing someone else to do something with it. and he gave us a 20-year lease. And
See, I just don't seem to understand. Here you've got a house where, quite a number of Australian diggers went to the rest. Yep, you've got American, you've got Chinese, which I was always surprised about. And you probably you would have had New Zealanders.
No, unfortunately.
No, they didn't come through this part.
But if you think about it, $1.5 million in the big picture of things, when you have sponsors who sponsor much more than that to a football match, to an NFL match that's happening on the September 11 here in Melbourne at the MCG. Just think of all the money that goes into sponsor sports events, and to get 1.5 million to get a contingency from the United States, from Australia, from the UK, and maybe even from China, and they all contributed maybe 500,000 or maybe just 250,000
Yeah,
to make sure that your house stayed alive. The House of Thuillier stays alive and gives back a very historical point and very historical place of remembrance, in a sense.
And Sam, and look, the thing that's important to note is, like, while we are passionate about this, for us, the sole purpose is to retain and restore this house, and then we're going to give it back to the town so that they can continue to have it within their historical motions
and I
until
think
the future.
The other thing too is we want to employ local kids, bring Australian kids over, Canadian kids, older. Somebody suggested today, retired people come and spend some time working, just chatting to people.
Making cups of tea.
Making a good coffee.
Can you imagine a lovely Australian
great.
baker coming over and baking lamingtons and cakes?
Quite a journey to retirement, Sam.
It would be. It would be quite.
Sam.
There you go.
Hey, listen, guys, I have offered you numerous
Yes.
times to come. And
You have?
Well,
give my labour support.
Sam, we're ready for you. Look, believe me.
We just spent last week taking 300 bottles out of
350 bottles came out of the cellar.
I could have used you then,
and
think, Sam.
with the fundraising.
Those alone could probably pay for the renovation, surely.
Pardon?
Maybe selling those could pay for
Well, they could. Well, what we're doing is we've come up with this idea. There are about 350, 400 bottles that came out of the cellar.
Most of them are empty.
They're all empty, bar two. But we are asking people to buy a bottle for $50 Australian, and it will be given, their name will be put on it, and it will become part of the bar, a backdrop in the bar when it is completed, a little bit down the track.
Right.
But everybody can become part of the Thuillier project by simply buying a bottle. And we've got a GoFundMe page. If you go to GoFundMe and look up Thuillier House of Thuillier, you'll come across it. It's easy to do, and every little bit helps.
So
what
we're doing, we're being creative now. It isn't meant to be the way we thought it was going to be, unfortunately. But we're doing that. We're also looking at grants from the French government for restoring houses as well. And so
they've got a lot of old properties here that they love to restore.
Yeah, so we're reaching out in different directions. We're trying to be extremely creative because we're not letting this go.
No, and we've also there's about 200 tiles. So if later on down the track we're going to sell tiles as well, people can invest in a tile. And as I said, every little bit will add to this. And imagine historically people saying, I'm a part of that project. I've got a bottle in that bar there.
And something lovely for when they visit is, they can hold on to this bottle and know that they had something to do.
And they saved the Thuillier house that saved so many of our diggers in the First World War.
So I've got a question, because you've been using terminology interchangeably, and I'm a bit of a stickler for terminology.
Yes.
You've used the term restoration and you've used the term renovation. Is it both, or is it one or the other?
It's both.
It's both.
Because it's an 18
as much as you can and renovating
1850 or thereabouts.
So there are certain heritage parts that we wish to keep.
It's not heritagely listed here in France, even though it's a historical property.
So it's not like a chateau.
It's not like a chateau.
It's a farmhouse. However, if the heritage stuff, as we often know, is too expensive, then we have to make choices along the way,
we-
like windows and such
Yeah.
things that keep the heat in, and making those, not putting like aircon, all of those sorts of issues.
To
we have to
bring
look
it
at.
into the modern day world for people to stay in, but we are keeping. For example, there are beautiful wrought iron gratings on the front door that we're going to put into new front doors. There is a hearth in one of the fireplaces that is incredible. We've taken wallpaper off walls that has revealed other wallpaper underneath that we're going to frame and put in different rooms. If people want to have a bit of a look, we've done a heritage survey. It's on our website, houseofthuillier.com, and you can go in and have a look at the heritage survey and have a look at the bits and pieces that makes it a renovation and a restoration, because the cellar, for example, it's an incredible cellar and it's got so much history. It's going to be restored. It's got to be it's stabilised so that the rest of the house won't fall down. But there's an incredible number of things. And of course, we hope to find more glass plates in the attic, which is my favourite part of the whole house. It runs the entire length of the house. And this attic has got oak beams in it that are just incredible.
So those sorts of features we'll keep.
We'll keep.
So it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Michael and Donna Fiechtner, we have really run out of time and gone over time. I want to wish you both the very, very best of luck. And I don't think you need luck. I just think you need the dollars to ensure that the renovations and the restoration take place. You can put me down for a bottle. I'm definitely going to get a bottle. And
We'll pick a special one for you, Sam.
Okay, well, you can put me down for a bottle, and I'm guessing I have to go to the GoFundMe page to...
House of Thuillier.
The dollars.
Yep, that's correct. It's easy
Because
to do.
we'll send you a picture of your bottle when you send us
Yep.
that. We take a picture of it before and after, and where
A
it's
lovely
sitting.
certificate of authenticity and participation and being part of the project.
Well, definitely, and hopefully I'll get down there to give you guys a hand. But
You'd better.
God bless you both. Keep up the great work. Keep up the... hopefully the battle doesn't get to be too hard in getting the funds to do this, because I can see a number of governments that could easily give you $250,000 each.
That would be
All
great. That would be great.
And we need to talk about this off air too. So good luck to you both. Remembering our lost diggers is really important, and I look forward to having you on the show again, and more importantly, to maybe getting to see you both.
Well, thank you for having us.
Bonsoir.
Thanks
Bonsoir.
for having us.
Bonsoir,
And don't
mes
forget,
amis.
go to that houseofthuillier.com website. That'll tell you everything, and you can come along with us and be part of the story.
Amazing. Good on you guys. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
Bonsoir.